Okay. Hey, so welcome Instagram and YouTube. This is Jason here, going live again. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday between 6:25 a.m. and 6:50 a.m. And this came out of a really a desire to just start putting the practices and I found many of them beneficial. So I hope you do as well. And we're just going to break into it today. So today, the discussion will be about some practices that you could do on a daily basis. So let's say that you have absolutely no experience with any of these work. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for dropping in. So, just discussing some wellness practices. So, if you want to stay tuned, you can feel free. It would be good to start with would be discussing the essential oils. So, I talked a little bit about this in a previous video. I use essential oils pretty regularly, and the reason why I use essential oils for us to come into the present moment. So, when working with these oils, a couple of key facts is you want to make sure that you're getting your oils from a reputable source. So, there's a company that I use, Young Living, which they provide where they source their oils. And I've really enjoyed their products. They do a great job of providing high quality products. So you want to make sure that your oils are 100% therapeutic grade, and that's really important. A lot of oils, especially because they're in such high demand in our uh, current world, people are getting oils that are not 100% therapeutic grade, which really just means that the oils have been tested, that all of their constituents are in place so that there's no synthetics added, and that they are whatever that they say they are. And you also want to make sure in working with the oils that you begin by just smelling it and making sure that you resonate with the smell. So obviously there's a bunch of different oils out there, and I was going to start today's class with oil. This is lemon oil. So the reason why I wanted to start with lemon oil is because it's a great oil to start your day with. It has this very nice lemon smell. It's not overbearing, and it really gives you the properties of lemon, which is very refreshing, very uh, uplifting. So, you know, I think it's pretty cool. I think working with the oils has been very helpful. And if you have any questions about the oils, just feel free to send me a message or add a comment to the video. Just asking for some suggestions when it comes to the oils. I found that lemon is pretty helpful, lavender is pretty helpful, and peppermint. So those are the three go-to oils that I would recommend if you have absolutely no cleansing, lavender is calming. So those three tend to be my biggest recommendations. So to start, when you're working with the oil, it's oftentimes to just smell from the cap. So making sure that you enjoy that smell. And then with using a drop of the oil, there's a couple ways to apply the oil. So I directly put it on. For people that are unsure, you can take a tissue and place it on a tissue and just breathe in the smell. But for myself, I'm just going to take a drop. I'm going to place it on the palm of my hand. And then from here, I'm just going to rub my fingers together about 3 times. This is just really a way of kind of bringing an intention in, and then holding the oil to my nose, breathing it in, and then just breathing out and just being without the oil for a breath or two. And then you can bring the oil to your nose, breathe it in, and then breathe out. You can breathe in the oil to your nose, breathe in, and then breathe out. And you just want to begin to observe your body and just notice any sensations that you may feel as a result of the observation of the oil. So you can continue to do this. You can breathe in the oil, breathe out, and this is really a way that you could begin to build a um, a practice for yourself if you don't already have one. So it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. You just purchase an oil. I can recommend the oils if you would like to use the Young Living. But like I said, very important that it's just 100% therapeutic grade. It's sourced from a reputable area, and that the oil is something that you work with. Um, the last thing is that for if you seem that the oil is not really working with you, you can actually take what's called a carrier oil, which could be a vegetable oil. There's obviously you could pick up vegetable oil from the market. You could use coconut oil. I tend to use coconut oil, and just rub the coconut oil in, and that helps to dilute the oil. So if ever your response to the oil is anything but positive, just use an oil and continue to you know use the carrier oil, and that will help to disperse so that it's not as strong. It will dilute the oil. um, and just uh, be aware when you're working with these oils, or just like anything, you don't want to use too much. Obviously, for most people they're very safe, and a lot of people have very incredible response with the oils, and they're very helpful. But just be aware of your own body. If you start to feel like the oils are not working with you, disband from the use. Don't obviously continue if the oil is not suiting you. So that is my recommendation in working with the oils um, for today. And if you have any questions, let me know. We're going to move right into our next practice, and just going to put the cap on. Our next practice is just some basic movements that you can do in the morning. So one of the first movements that I think is a very helpful movement is to just allow the head to roll from one side. So let's just say one shoulder back to center and to the other shoulder, and back to center, and from one shoulder and back to center and to the other shoulder, and back to center. And this is great with people, and from one shoulder and back to center and to the other shoulder and back to center. So for people that tend to have neck issues, and people that have kind of tightness in the shoulders, moving their neck around in this way just helps to provide some circulation in the neck area. Once again, if you have any traumatic neck injury, just being very mindful. The movements don't have to be that large, so they can be as large or as small as feels natural to you. Just rotating the head from right side to left side. And you could do this in the morning in your bed. And it really helps to kind of relieve any tension you may feel. You could do it in the evening in your bed. Just moving the neck. And if you're in the office, you could do it in the office. One side, other side, one side, other side. And then maybe just turning the head to one direction, coming back to center, turning the head to the other direction, back to center, turning the head to the other direction, back to center, and the opposite direction, back to center, opposite direction, back to center, opposite direction, back to center. And then you can begin to maybe look up, down, over, up, down, over, up, down, over, and opposite way. So we're just allowing for the stimulation of the neck. And this is helpful because obviously, as many of you know, the neck is responsible for, well, first of all, blood flow to and from the head. And it helps for us to connect our brain to our body. So by moving the neck around in this way, this is just a great way to kind of open up your day coming into the present moment. Excellent. And then coming back to center, a second movement you can do is just lifting the shoulders to the ears and releasing the shoulders away from the ears. And lifting the shoulders to the ears and releasing the shoulders away from the ears. And lifting the shoulders to the ears and releasing the shoulders away from the ears. And lifting the shoulders to the ears, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe rolling only your whatever shoulder feels right for you. I'm rolling my right, maybe the left in the camera, it may also be the right. I'm just rolling it in a circle, and then the other shoulder. Just the shoulders. So shoulders and neck, for many of us, are the areas that take most of the tension. And then rolling it in the other direction. So starting with the shoulder that you were already on. You can even bring the elbow out slightly. And then moving to the other shoulder. Excellent. And then now what we're going to do is just a simple twist. So you can take your whatever hand, I'm using my left hand, placing it over my right thigh, taking my other hand behind me, and just turning the chest. And the reason why a simple twist is good to start the day is because it helps to stimulate the abdomen, which obviously, as many of you know, is responsible for digestion. And by stimulating the abdomen, it's kind of helps to bring balance in the body. It's often common thought that abdomen is responsible for much of our inflammation response throughout the body. So by creating a healthy abdomen, it tends to create balance to the rest of the body. And then moving to the other direction, other direction. Just breathing naturally, letting the breath continue. Simple twist. One more time, opposite side, whatever side you chose, going back to the opposite side. And it's often helpful to do these stretches 2 times. And then the other side. And you just want to see that you're twisting in a way that's comfortable for you. So it doesn't have to be a very strong twist. It could just be a very subtle twist. Mm. Just letting the breath continue naturally. And then coming back to center, shaking out the head, shaking out the shoulders, shaking out the fingers. Very good. Um, and so those are three really basic stretches that you can do in the morning when you first get up or even before you go to sleep. So the moving of the neck can be helpful to relax the neck. The moving of the shoulders can help to relieve tension in the shoulders. And the twisting can be helpful for digestion. So the last practice we're going to move to is one of the first practices of meditation that I've learned. So I think it can be beneficial. I know in some schools of meditation, this technique is not taught because oftentimes there's just a desire to observe the sensations as they are. But what I found, if you have difficulty focusing your attention, it can be helpful to have a focal point. So for many of us, the numbers can be a good way to start, and you just want to come into a comfortable seated position, close the eyes, let the breath move inward, let the attention move inward. And you're just going to take the attention to the nostril tips. So this is similar to Anapanasati, which is that mindful breathing technique that we do, just watching the sensations at the tips of the nostrils. And then adding on to that, every time the breath leaves the nostrils, every time the air moves outward, you're going to denote that as a number. And we start with one, and commonly we work up to 10. So you can see how this works for you. So as we're doing it together, just inhaling, exhaling, that would be one. Inhaling, exhaling, that would be two. Inhaling, exhaling, that would be three. Inhaling, exhaling, that would be four. Inhaling, exhaling, that would be five. And if at any point you got distracted, you could always go back to one. Inhaling, exhaling, six. Inhaling, exhaling, seven. Inhaling, exhaling, eight. Inhaling, exhaling, nine. Inhaling, exhaling, 10. And whenever you get to 10, or if maybe you don't get to 10 today, just begin back at one anytime. So although although our desired goal is maybe to count to 10, the only reason that our goal is to count to 10 is just to make sure we are not losing focus. So it's not really important that you count to 10 other than the fact that you are aware the entire time that your breath is moving. So with this breathing technique, and you continue to practice it, so inhaling, exhaling, that would be one. Inhaling, exhaling, that would be two. Inhaling, exhaling, that would be three. Inhaling, exhaling, that would be four. Inhaling, exhaling, that would be five. Inhaling. Exhaling, that would be 6. Even if you get distracted, just continuing to count or starting back at 1. Inhaling. Exhaling, 7. Inhaling. Exhaling, 8. Inhaling. Exhaling, 9. Inhale. Exhale, 10. One more time, just starting back at 1 again. So the entire time you're keeping the attention focused in the nostrils. And once again, the reason why we're counting is because a lot of times this is a helpful way to observe your breathing. So especially with if there's a lot of thoughts, if there's a lot of things going on in your mind, it can be helpful for a lot of people to just start by counting the breath. Obviously, the technique of Anapanasati, which is without any counting, just observing the sensations, is a very helpful technique. Nobody is denying that that technique is a helpful technique. But for some people, especially if you find it difficult to focus on your sensations, a helpful tool could just be to get into just being aware of the direction of the breath. So just knowing that as you exhale, counting a number, as you inhale, relaxing. As you exhale, counting a number. As you inhale, relaxing. And we keep the attention in the nose just because it's a very small focal point. So obviously this practice could be done with breathing in the belly as well. But for today, the nostrils are a good way to practice. Inhaling. Exhaling, counting a number. Inhaling. Exhaling, 2. Inhaling. Exhaling, 3. Inhaling. Exhaling, 4. Inhaling. Exhaling, 5. Inhaling. Exhaling, 6. Inhaling. Exhaling, 7. Inhaling. Exhaling, 8. Inhaling. Exhaling, 9. Inhaling. Exhaling, 10. So just to reiterate today's practice, we started today with an essential oil experience of just experimenting with working with the essential oils. After that, we moved into some mindful movement techniques to help relax any tension in the body. And lastly, we moved into breath counting meditation, which is a very helpful tool at helping to resolve the mind and bring the mind and body into connection. So I hope that you enjoyed today's practices. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Jason. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:25 a.m. to 6:50 a.m. And if you liked the video, if you watched the video and you liked it, please feel free to hit the thumbs up sign in YouTube, and feel free to subscribe to my channel, clicking the bell icon to get notifications. I really enjoy these practices. I'm very thankful to continue to practice them, and I hope that they benefit you all. So may you all have a peaceful day. May you all have a happy day. May you all have a day that leads you to more inner connection, more inner wisdom, more inner peace. Thank you. Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And have a blessed day. Thanks again, y'all. Talk soon. Thanks.